Good afternoon everybody and welcome back to How Hard Can It Be? This is the channel where I'm trying to restore a Nauticus 27 foot from start to finish, and we're on the stage of sorting out the interior. So I'll show you what I'm about to do. I've made a framework so I can cut out some 8x4 sheets of some oak ply. So unfortunately John's not with me again today, so if my lip sync is out or the focus is out or the sound's not right, I already apologise for that. Unfortunately he's not about, so I have to make do with what I've got. So I'm going to nip behind the camera and show you what I'm about to do, so have a look. There we go. As you can see, we've got an 8x4 sheet of ply, a nice oak veneer. I'm hoping that I'm not going to ruin it. I've had these sheets for maybe 3 or 4 years, all propped up at the side. There is a slight warping, as you can see, on that edge. I'll just turn that around so I can see what I'm actually doing. There we go. There's a bit of warping on the edge, but it's not too bad. So, as you know from the last episode, I am going to take the, as you can tell, I'm not a very good cameraman. There we go. As you can see, what I'm going to do with the from the previous episode, I marked out all the templates. And I'm going to attempt, well, first of all, I'm going to cut those templates down to nearly the correct size, and I'm going to place them on here, and I'm just going to see how they look and see whether that's a feasible idea to use this lining paper. If it isn't, then I'm going to have to revert to cardboard, which people seem to use. I did a bit of research a couple of days ago, and it seems to be cardboard seems to be the ideal thing to use. But you know, I've cut it out, I've marked them out. We'll give it a go and we'll see what happens. So I'm just going to nip on top of the boat, get those pieces of paper, and then come down. I'll put them all out and then I'll show you what I've done. So in the meantime, I shall just put it on pause. Okay, so it looks like I can fit 3 sections on here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to trim these down to the correct size. I will nip back on the boat and double check to make sure that the size that I've outlined and marked is good to go, and then we'll start marking out the wood. So I'll get cracking and just cut these down. And I'll show you what I'm going to do now. So I'll just angle the camera so you can see what I'm going to do. Okay, so it looks like I can fit 3 sections on here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to trim these down to the correct size. I will nip back on the boat and double check to make sure that the size that I've outlined and marked is good to go, and then we'll start marking out the wood. So I'll get cracking and just cut these down. And I'll show you what I'm going to do now. So I'll just angle the camera so you can see what I'm going to do. still got those side panels to cut off. I think what I'll do is I'll tidy up first, and then I think I might cut those out too. Okay, so I don't know whether the camera picks that up. That's where that centre was. You know, in the last episode, where the fascia side of it scoops away all the way around the front of the bow of the boat. That's where that centre section is. So I'm going to just take that off because I've created my line, so I know exactly where to go back with it if I ever need to go back to it. And we'll just see how long this is. So I might be able to. I'm hoping I'm going to get one length out of this. Oh, yes, perfect. Okay, that's good. Because the other one can go side by side. That's excellent. So looking at it, we're already into two sheets already. Can't remember how many sheets I've got, but anyway, not to worry. Let's get this one cut up. Not riveting viewing, I know. But I'm afraid sometimes there's going to be some episodes that are going to be really boring. But they have to be shown, otherwise you don't get the true reflection of what well, any restoring is all about, to be honest. Because, you know, it's not great fun doing this, but I mean, it's great doing the painting and doing all the other things, but sometimes the boring bits, well, they can be boring and they can be tedious, but you've just got to do them. So unfortunately, this is going to be one of those episodes where all you're going to see me doing is cutting up. Hopefully I might be able to cut some of this oak up. Depends on my jigsaw blade whether I've got something that's not going to tear this piece to smithereens, because they're not cheap, these sheets. So I'll carry on anyway. I'm waffling on. Right, so I might just pause it there for a minute. I'm going to take these up there and I'm just going to have a look, see whether we're on the right track with the size and how they fit. So bear with me, I will be back. I'm back. Okay, so what I've done is I've pulled out another sheet, because the one underneath is it's perfect. This one isn't perfect, and the reason why it's not perfect is when I first got them, I had the unit next door and I used to be retail, selling carpets, vinyls and everything else that goes with it. I laid them on the floor when they arrived, and unfortunately my carpet fitters decided, thinking that they were just standard pieces of ply that you would put on a subfloor and then you would place, say, a vinyl on top of it, they decided to trample all over my nice piece of oak. So this is the one that's got their size 10s all over it. Now, anybody got any ideas how to get dryish, dirty trainer marks out of a virgin piece of oak ply? Please let me know, because I haven't touched it in 4 years. But because these pieces are going to be carved up into smaller pieces at the front of the boat where cushions are going to be, I'm hoping that I might as well sacrifice this piece and use it just in case it all goes wrong. Then I'm not overly bothered. But also, you won't be able to see these marks by the time it's all sort of oiled up or varnished up, whatever I'm going to do with it. So eagle-eyed people would have seen that there are 2 sheets on top of this. So I'm now going to put these on here, and I'm going to I'll take these off the starters. I'm going to masking tape them onto it and cut it out as best I can. I'll get moving. How unlucky is that? Just too short. I don't want to put a piece in it. The grain's going across. There's probably some viewers out there that were probably thinking, what on earth is he doing? Well, like I said, I'm no expert, but I just thought in my own little way that doing this would be a fairly accurate way of cutting it out. And I took the templates up there, they were pretty good, exactly what I wanted, and you know, with a bit of fettling, they should look good. And with, I mean, at the end of the day, when these pieces are all married up together, I'll put a little trim around the edges if it requires it, and it'll look good. Once it's all covered up with cushions and stuff like that, I think it'll be good. So get that one stuck, and then we'll have a look at the jigsaw blade and see whether we can cut it up. Just need to chop that bit off, wherever those scissors are. Right. Okay, so they're now well anchored to this piece. So I shall have a look around, find my jigsaw, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've checked the blades on the jigsaw, and it looks like we could be good to go. I'll do a test cut just on this corner just to see how bad it spelches. But what I'm doing right now is I'm using a pencil, and I'm just going to make an outline all the way around these pieces, and then it's hopefully ready to cut up. So I'll get on with it. See me? Right, all lined up. So, next stage, cutting. I'm going that way around. Okay, so I'll remove the sheet, the good one. I'll shift that and put it back over there, and I'll do a trowel cut, and then if all's good, I'll get that done. Bear with me. Okay, so you won't be able to see my head on my face, but the important bit is what I'm about to do. I've made an incision there, and I've done a little bit of a mock curve there, and it's cutting really well. So we're all good to go, and I'm going to just get on with this and get this cut. So here we go. There we have piece number 1. Hopefully that is going to be oversized and not undersized. So anyway, at least we've got number 1 done. As you can see, cut actually really cleanly. I'll see if I can get the camera to show that. Edgewise, hardly any spelching at all on that. You can see that footprint there, can't you? Anyway, there we go. So if the other 2 go as well as that, I'll be more than happy. So let's get moving. Okay, so that's the other side done. What I'm going to do, I don't know whether you can see it from there, but I'm just going to drill a little hole there so then I can turn the blade, because I want to try and keep as much of the oak panel in one piece as I can, just in case I might need it. You never know. So that section there I've just left oversized because that's the flat area in the centre of the boat that, if you remember, there is a pipe that's going in front of it which will take where the water will go into the front tank. So you're not actually going to see that. So I haven't cut it short. I'm just going to leave it long for now till I fathom out how I'm going to put a nice neat edge so I can butt another piece of this ply up to it to make it finished. As you can see, that's the ugly side of it. I reckon wire wool or something like that might just get that out. I haven't tried it yet, but we'll see how we go. But anyway, for now, that's the first cut. Everything is now, it's slightly bigger than necessary. So I'll just go up into the boat and test fit. I know this won't fit properly just yet. I'll have a job to get it in first of all. But I'll see what they look like. So I shall have a look. Bear with me. Okay, so you can't see me, but I'm holding the camera and I'm just going to show you. I've placed them where they're destined to go. As you can see, that lip is slightly proud. As you can see, there you go. Slightly proud there. It gives me a chance to sand back. I'm going to obviously cut these next, and then I'll be able to mess with that. And then obviously if I put that one in and then sand that back, I'll end up with a nice decent edge. Obviously it's better to be bigger than it is than to be short. So that's the colour. Whoa, 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 what have I pressed? Pressed something, I don't know what I've pressed. Status check, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, there we go. So that's what it's looking like. Like so. This piece is too big. It needs a bit of fettling and whittling, so that won't fit tonight. But I'll continue filming tomorrow, and we'll, hopefully should have an episode for everybody to look at in a couple of weeks' time. So I'll just pause it for now. Okay, so we're on to the next bit, and that is, if you can remember from the last episode, the two sides that as you face the front of the boat, they sort of go like that. I've forgotten what, but they're basically just the sides. So those are the things that we're going to cut out next. I'm going to mark them out and I'm going to cut them out. But I'm going to do them outside because although it's windy, it's not rainy. And it'll just keep a bit of the dust down from inside this warehouse. So I'll shift the camera and I'll put it outside and we'll take it from there. So let's get on with it. So once again, we're back in the boat. This is what I've had in my head for a long time. Umming and ahhing whether light oak is the best way to go. Now that I've roughly placed two pieces into position, I was worried about whether this ply was too thick to curve round. As you can see, I couldn't have asked for it any better than that. I mean, it looks great. I'm very, very pleased with the aesthetics and the way it looks. I've just clamped it into position. I wish I had another clamp so I could clamp this side to give you a better look on how it all would sort of look. But at this stage, I'm extremely pleased and very happy with the way that's turned out. In fact, I'll hold that into position. I can have a look myself, can't I, on the camera, just to show you what the overall effect would be. If I just bend that and then push it into position. There you go. That's, with the exception of it obviously not meeting in the middle, but that's an issue that we can sort out anyway. It gives you an idea of the colour. I think the colour's modern. I think it'll lighten the boat. It'll modernise the boat, and with some mood lighting and whatever that I'm going to put in, I really think it was the right choice of wood rather than this dark that you can see. So yeah, I'm absolutely chuffed. Chuffed to see what I'm looking at. It's looking good. Very pleased indeed. So there we have it. It's a good time to finish this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Thank you. I've got comments starting to come through now from people. Thank you. You know who you are. They're always useful. If anybody does know how to get footmarks out of wood without putting any liquid on or whatever, just to keep, I want to try and keep the lightness and the matte shade of this wood if I can. I would be grateful. All I can say is please like, subscribe, and if you want to see me again, just click on that little bell. It costs nothing to do that. It helps me get established. I'm still in my early days of these episodes. I think we're on number 7, 8 or 9, I can't remember. But there's lots to come. I mean, these episodes will continue until this boat is finished. And then, who knows, we'll go on to something else. We might even open it up to any other suggestions, what people might want to see me attempt to do. That's the reason why I've decided to call it How Hard Is It? How Hard Can It Be? Because it's great to challenge yourself, and I'm in a fortunate position whereby I can do these things. I don't have to do a 9-to-5 job these days, so yeah, it's a good time. Thank you for watching anyway. So until next time, I shall see you again, hopefully. Bye for now.